Hey guys, welcome to 2.4 Chain Rule Day 3. So in this lesson, we're going to be pretty much applying chain rule again to certain scenarios, and we're going to be learning some new scenarios that you might see in the AP exam. Alright, so example number 1. We have sine 3x and find the second derivative and evaluate that second derivative at this point. So we know that the first derivative is slope. So what does the second derivative mean? Well, I can't teach you guys that yet, so that's gonna have to wait, but to put it in simple terms, if it makes any sense, it's the slope of the slope, right? Because the first derivative is slope. The second derivative would be the slope of the slope. Slopeception going on, right? Okay, so example number 1. F prime of x is cosine 3x times 3, which is the same thing as 3 cosine 3x. Derivative, second derivative, is going to be 3. What's the derivative of cosine? Negative sine 3x times 3, which is negative 9 sine 3x. Evaluate that at x is equal to pi over 18. Now you guys are probably thinking, well, sir, there's no pi over 18 in the unit circle. Relax. In the AP exam, they're not going to give you anything that you guys cannot compute without that circle, that unit circle, okay? They're not going to give you a weird angle. So bear with this. Negative 9 sine 3 times pi over 18, because now we're replacing every x with pi over 18. Well, what does 3 and pi over 18 reduce to? 3 goes into 18 6 times, and 3 goes into 3 just once. So it's really just negative 9 sine pi over 6. And if you know your unit circle very well, it's 9 times 1/2, which is negative 9 over 2, or you could even say negative 4.5. G prime of x. Okay, find G prime of x given this. Okay, so G prime, this time we don't have a function, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to let u equal 5x. I'm going to let u equal the inside. What is u prime? U prime is 5. If I follow the chain rule said that if I have f of u, the derivative of f of u is f prime of u times u prime. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be f prime of 5x times 5, which is just 5 f prime of 5x. Done. The next one, same thing. U is x cubed. What is u prime? 3x squared. So g prime is f prime of x cubed 3x squared, which is 3x squared x cubed. The displacement of an object in harmonic motion on the end of a spring is given by this function here, where y is measured in feet and t is measured in time. Determine the position of the object when t is equal to pi over 6. Well, displacement. What is displacement? Displacement is change of position. Okay, so y represents the position function because this is the displacement function, you can say. So simply just plug in pi over 6 into the y. So it's 1/2 cosine 4 times pi over 6 minus 1/2 sine 4 times pi over 6. Well, this becomes 2/3, so it's really just 2/3 pi. 1/2 cosine of 2/3 pi minus 1/2 sine of 2/3 pi. Well, what is cosine of 2/3? I think it's -1/2, so it's going to be 1/2 times the -1/2 minus 1/2, and this one is going to be square root of 3 over 2. So this becomes -1 over 4 minus square root of 3 over 4, which is the same thing as -1 minus negative square root of 3 over 4. Find the velocity of the object at any time t. Note, velocity is the derivative of displacement. Anytime they tell you to find the velocity of at any time, they simply just want you to find the velocity function. So y prime would represent velocity because y is displacement. So it's going to be 1/2 cosine 4, no, 1/2, what's the derivative of cosine? Negative sine. And then 4t chain rule times 4 minus 1/2, not sine. What's the derivative of sine? Cosine 4t. And then chain rule times 4. Cleaning this up a little bit, we got 2 and 4 just make a 2. 2 and 4 make a 2, so it's going to be -2 sine of 4t minus 2 cosine of 4t. And there's my velocity function. Letter C, find the velocity of the object at t equals pi over 6. Well, we already have the velocity. Y prime, well, let's not rewrite it, right? So we already have the velocity. We're just going to plug in pi over 6 there and there. So it's going to be y prime of pi over 6 is -2 sine 4 times pi over 6 minus 2 cosine 4 times pi over 6. And that still becomes 2/3, 2/3. So it's 2/3 pi. So it's going to be -2 sine of 2/3, which we already said was square root of 3 over 2, minus 2 cosine of 2/3, which is a -1/2. And we see that this becomes positive 1, and this cancels, so it's negative square root of 3 plus 1. And let's go back up to our units. It's one thing that I forgot to do. This is in feet. This displacement is in feet, so I'm going to say this is feet. And to fix this problem over here, I'm going to say that this is feet per second.